Hello YouTube, this is R4V3N from Winter X Raven, bringing you my own Ritual Beast deck. Now, if you want a deck that can beat up Yang Zines, it does that, right, Winter?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, it does. This is a deck. So, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start off with Win, a personal favorite. Just because, most of the time your cards, your monsters, will be banished, so... Whenever this card is normal summon, you can special summon one of your banned Ritual Beast monsters. Now, do keep in mind, every Ritual Beast Tamer and Spiritual Beast can only be special summoned once per turn. If you're planning to do a couple of good combos, bring back fusing monsters during the opponent's end phase, so that way you can have a fresh start. Now, next up, before I forget, Ritual Beast Tamer Win has 1500 attack and 1000 defense. Even if you don't use it for ability, it's still a pretty good attack power. Ritual Beast Tamer Lara, 100 attack, 2000 defense. Whenever it sees normal summon, you can special summon a Ritual Beast monster from the graveyard. And also 100 attack, 2000 defense. Pretty good defender if you're in a tight spot. Now, go ahead and get to one of the most important ones, Ritual Beast Tamer Elder. I know I should be running 3, it's just I forgot to add a third one, and I do plan on putting in a third one. 200 attack, 1000 defense, not good for attacking or defense, but the effect is really good. Whenever you use normal summon, you can normal summon another Ritual Beast monster. That way you can pull off a couple of combos right away. Next up, let's get these out of the way real fast. The Pendulums, Ritual Beast Tamer Zeframpilica, and Ritual Beast Zefrawendi, I think. The one on the left lets you normal summon another Ritual Beast monster from your graveyard, but it is destroyed at the end phase, so do fusion summon if you use its effect. The one on the right, whenever that one is normal summon, you can bring a Pendulum monster from your extra deck and special summon it. And that's it. And of course, 1000 attack, 1500 defense, 1500 attack, 1000 defense. Ritual Apelio, 1800 attack, 200 defense. His effect is really good if you have too many cards in your graveyard Ritual Beast wise. You can banish them, and each Ritual Beast monster you control gain 500 attack and defense. And this can also be used during either player's turn. Now a Searcher is Ritual Beast Cannahawk, 1400 attack, 600 defense. Now what it does is you can banish one Ritual Beast card from your deck, and now on your second standby phase, you can add it to your hand. Basically, you're always going to have a Ritual Beast card in your hand if you're looking forward to using the most out of Ulti-Gaiapelio. And our Composite Peltifin, what it does is you banish one Ritual Beast card from your hand, and target one card your opponent controls, and send it back to your hand, to their hand. This is really good against XYZ monsters and Synchro monsters, even fusions if you're fighting Sadars, maybe even Trevor if you want to try to get the upper hand before they do. And lastly, we have Rampengu. It's 1600 attack, 400 defense. Once per turn, you can banish one Ritual Beast monster from your extra deck and send one Ritual Beast monster with the same type as the monster you sent before to the graveyard. And that's it for the monsters. Now, first spell I have here is Ritual Beast Bond. It's really good if you're in a tight squeeze. You can use this. What it does is you banish 2 Ritual Beast monsters that you control, special summon any Ritual Beast monster from your extra deck without paying the original cost. So you know the Ulti-Gaiapelio? Yeah, you can bring out a 3200 beater. but it will not gain its additional effect, which will be kind of eh. But either way, you can also bring out Peltian with it, anything. So next is Soul Absorption. You don't necessarily have to run this. Most of the time you win before you lose a big amount of life points. But what it does is whenever a card is banished, you gain 500 life points. And then for each card that is banished. So in one turn you can gain 2,000 life points. If you pull off a lot of combos, maybe even 5,000. It's just that awesome to have in this set, which is exactly why I run it. That is just fun. Next is MST, because of course if people know you run Ritual Beast, they're probably gonna pull out Royal Decree or maybe even Imperial Iron Wall, which really sucks. And if you don't have MSTs, then you are pretty much screwed. So yeah, put some in. They're always good. And now a universal card, Swords. It's, yeah, 3 times you can't be attacked. That is always awesome. That'll give you enough time to build up a good strategy, maybe get some cards on the field, and so on. Now the last spell card I run is Button of Mighty. Because most of the time I have Peltian on the field, and basically you have a wall, a really awesome wall. You can pull out 1 Button of Mighty, that's already trolling. Bringing out 2, unless they destroy them, they can never hit you. And yeah, that's pretty much it, and hopefully it helps you out. Now, let's go on to the traps. The reason why earlier I said Royal Decree is because in this Ritual Beast deck, you do run a lot of traps. And most of them are Ritual Beast related, like Ritual Beast Steeds. They're really fun. Trap card, if you do have a fusion on your opponent's turn, you can just pop that back, bring out 2 Ritual Beast cards, and what this card does is every Ritual Beast card you control, you can destroy that many monsters on your opponent's side of the field. So Blue Eyes Ultimate, yeah. All you need is one Ritual Beast monster, this trap, and yeah, it's gone. 4,500 KIA. Next up is Ritual Beast Ambush. It's very crucial to have this because several times I did get my fusions popped up or popped back, sorry, or even banished themselves. Now, an easy thing to do is just use Ritual Beast Ambush, and what it does is you can special summon 1 Ritual Beast Tamer and a Spiritual Beast monster from either your graveyard and or your banished zones. So just do that and then fusion summon, and you're set for at least another turn or 2, depending on how well you use them. Next up is Torrential. Mainly because I run the Defender of the Fusions very often, and what it does is it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So if your opponent is special summoning like out of nowhere, like gets a whole swarm of monsters on the field, I'm talking like 10 monsters, Torrential, you still have your defense on the field and they lose all their monsters. Another one is Mirror Force. I think everybody knows this card, but if you don't, if you're new to the game and you just happen to see this video, what Mirror Force does is whenever your opponent declares an attack, you activate this card. It destroys all attack resistant monsters your opponent controls. So unless you're running against stuff that stops trap cards, that is a very awesome card to run against, especially the decks that swarm the field. Dimensional Prism. My bad, my apologies. It's kind of like Mirror Force, except it only targets 1 card, and instead of it being destroyed, it gets banished instead. So if you're fighting a card that you don't want to see anymore, just save it for the right moment use it, banish it. And then if you have Soul Absorption, you gain 500. Insult to injury. Now finally, this is a new card I got. I believe I got it from the Mega Tins, if y'all happen to watch that video. And this card is still new to me. To tell you the truth, I have not used it in a real duel yet, but I am very excited to. What it does is, when your opponent special summons a monster from the hand or extra deck, you can shuffle that monster into the deck, and then you lose 1000 life points for each monster returned. Now, that may sound like a lot, but if you run Soul Absorption, 1000 is 2 banished monsters. You can get that back easily. And, oh, I did forget one card. One trap card, Dust Tornado. I ran 2 of them because I really hate Royal Decree and Skill Drain. Skill Drain messes up this deck. If you see it, destroy it right away. And also Imperial Iron Wall. And another good thing about Dust Tornado that I didn't realize until later on is that if you use it, you can target one spell or trap card from your hand and place it face down. So that Ritual Beast Bond that I showed you earlier, it's the quick spell card, you can put that card down on your opponent's turn, and if you pop back one of your fusions, you can activate it and bring out another fusion. And that does it for the traps. And now for the extra deck. Of course you need an attacker. Ulti-Apelio, 2600 attack, 400 defense. Do you remember, if it does get targeted for attack, you can always pop it back. And this is contact fusion. Every Ritual Beast fusion monster is going to be contact fusion, and every single one except for the big boss can be popped back. Now each one requires a Ritual Beast Tamer and a Spiritual Beast. Ulti-Apelio, being the attacker, if he attacks, he is unaffected by any card effects. Magic Cylinder, Mirror Force, all of that. Now let's go to the defender. Peltian, a lot of people hate this. Do try to chain it with Bud and the Mighty, combo it. Like I said, contact fusion can be popped back during either player's turn. 200 attack, 2800 defense. Now another cool thing is it cannot be destroyed by card effects. You don't have to worry about Dark Hole, Torrential, but do worry about Composer. Now, let's get to the Searcher. Ulti-Cannahawk. Try saying Cannahawk 1,000 times. Now, 1400 attack, 1600 defense, contact fusion can be popped back. Now, do not try attacking or defending with this card, just use it for one purpose, to search. You send 2 of your banished Ritual Beast cards to the graveyard, add any Ritual Beast card to your hand from your deck. Now, sorry about making this a bit quick, but for the big boss. Ritual Beast, Ulti-Gaiapelio. 3200 attack, 2100 defense. It requires a Ritual Beast Fusion, and a Ritual Beast Tamer, and a Spiritual Beast. Kinda a lot, but its effect makes up for it. Anytime a monster effect, spell, trap, anything is activated, so if you're fighting like Trevor, Yang Zings, just banish one Ritual Beast card from your hand, and just know you can use this any amount of times as you have cards in your hand to negate the activation and destroy. And that's about it for the extra deck. Thank you. So this is my Ritual Beast deck. Hopefully it helped inspire you to make your own. If you have any questions or if you want to, praise me, which is highly unlikely, do leave something in the comments. And maybe I will get back to you. Maybe. Well, you know what, probably. I will probably get back to you. So, yeah, leave a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more, and if you do have a request for another deck, maybe we have one already. And we could upload it probably next week. So yeah, this has been our 4v3 in Raven. Yeah. From Winter X Raven, showing you a deck that can beat up Yang Zings. Good night.